What's up, everyone? Welcome to Unscripted Access, episode number 152. I am your host today, John MacLiso, joined by the one, the only, the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Anthony Taw.
Good evening. Or, sorry, good day.
I mean,
good day.
You could really be listening to this at any time. Morning, evening. You could be like Bronson, Anthony, and I working at 2 o'clock in the morning, listening to a podcast at work. So I guess we'll say
I guess you
good.
could call 2 a.m. good morning.
Good morning. So we'll go with good morning, good day, and good evening.
Yes, I think this is one of our more beaten jokes where we burn it every single week because we don't know what time our listeners are listening to this.
Yeah.
Happy Thanksgiving, everyone.
Happy Thanksgiving. When is this episode going up?
It goes up on Monday before Thanksgiving, but
I'm just
throwing, because we don't have the opportunity to say this for another week if we don't do it today.
This is true.
We might as well do it now.
It's much better to say Happy Thanksgiving over next week's episode where we're happy belated Thanksgiving. It sounds a lot worse.
At least we remembered this time.
Yes. So happy Thanksgiving, everyone. Happy Turkey Day. Get fat, eat turkey leg for all of us, and we will do the same for you. Anthony, how you doing today, man?
I am doing better, which is good. Better is always good.
Always.
It's a fun, great news today. So we have wrapped up Super Orgasm Go Playtime of Until Dawn. We have finished that game today. The final episode is really interesting because I just really don't know how to put it. You guys are just gonna have to watch it. And once that's done, John's Shadow of the Colossus stuff is happening after that. So look forward to it.
Oh yeah.
It's been sitting around forever, but it's finally going to be prepped and ready to go.
It is my first Let's Play, so be prepared for.
Personally, I think you did a pretty darn good job commentating, considering you were by yourself.
Hey, there's only one way to find out, and it is the gauntlet of people's opinions and criticism. So we'll have to see. I look forward to everyone being able to watch that. I also look forward to checking out the last episode of Until Dawn.
Yeah, the last episode's like really interesting because how do I put this? I guess it's not really spoiling, but in Until Dawn, people can die, obviously. Mm-hmm. And it can go to extremes, too. Everyone can live or everyone can die. And what happened is that we did a pretty darn good job keeping everyone alive until the final episode. Then it all went to shit. So I'll just throw that out there. So that's something you guys can look forward to. I guess it was a pretty good last episode if we managed to fuck up the final episode. Excuse my language. But that's basically what happened. We effed up really bad.
See, that's what I really like about video games now, is that oftentimes in a lot of games coming out nowadays, I think Fallout is a perfect example. Nothing ever goes according to plan. You'll always plan for maybe like 5 or 6 enemies. Then all of a sudden, other enemies come out of somewhere, or you run out of ammo with your best gun, or something like that. In The Witcher's case, you use too much stamina, or you use too many signs, and it's just, I really do love unpredictability in video games. Metal Gear Solid 5 is another one.
Yeah, isn't that a great one? Hey, we just got a comic of that. That's what Quiet's Not Your Best Buddy.
Oh, Quiet. I feel so
it's
betrayed.
Like once you moved on from her, you realize how awesome other things are. That's how I feel. That's how I feel. Like the new comic was just like, you know what? This is why I didn't have. This is why I wouldn't know. No. The patch that they put out for Metal Gear lets you bring Quiet back, and in my personal opinion, yeah, sorry, moved on.
We need to. We can't have a Metal Gear companion conversation without bringing up D-Dog. D-Dog is the best companion
Oh
in
my
the game,
goodness.
like even more so than Quiet.
Yes, because it's like, well, quiet. Everyone's just like, oh, I got a spare sniper, and can hit targets from far, far away, and yada 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 yada. But then you discover, once you get far enough to game, you develop enough weapons, and finally got your trank sniper or whatever. You start discovering the virtues of D-Dog. You don't have to search every single room to find the prisoner. You don't need to interrogate people and risk getting discovered just to find somebody or something. D-Dog just knows.
Yeah.
And it's beautiful. Also, if you're like a little worried about Fulton, just like, yo, D-Dog, that guy, Fulton him.
It's the things you can do with D-Dog are just amazing. If you ever, the way I always did it was if I ever were to go into a combat ops or I wanted to go in heavy, I always took Quiet with me to for some backup, some cover fire. But whenever I wanted to go stealth mode, like never be seen or never be heard or anything, I always took D-Dog with me every single time, and it made my missions perfect. Like, oh man, D-Dog is the best. That's it. D-Dog is my favorite dog in all of gaming, actually.
Yeah. Let's see. One of my favorite moments with D-Dog was so one of the side ops is that you go after like really heavy infantry, guys dressed in like full heavy armor and thick helmets, so you can't snipe them, you can't shoot them. So what do? You're gonna have to do CQC, but sometimes they're in pairs or one is with inside of another. And I remember I was in cover and they were gonna go check out this suspicious person they saw snooping around, and I'm like, oh crap, they're gonna find me, and I can't CQC one because the other one's gonna raise the alarm. And then I write, oh wait, yo, D-Dog, distract him now. And man, was that made things so much better.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or I can solve the whole problem of stealthing around heavy infantry and just shoot rockets at them, and that makes everything easier.
Yeah, I mean, rockets are fantastic.
It's just like heavy infantry, just like, oh, do I really want to sneak? But no, I don't want to sneak. I just want to get this over and get paid. Okay, rockets it is.
I always just lit them up with super heavy machine guns, souped up.
Yeah, for me it's just projectiles. Problem solved.
Yeah, blow them to hell. Yeah, I got you.
Like, sorry, normally I stealth around, but these guys are they just take too much time out of my day.
Yeah. Well, right. So we've got some news for you guys, as usual. However, I think Anthony, you and I can agree that there's nothing really big this week. There was a lot of small snippets of news coming out. So why don't you go ahead and share your first, and then I'll share my first, and then we'll kind of just go on back and forth there. What you got?
Okay, so first thing I've got is Sony has confirmed that PlayStation 2 emulation is coming to PlayStation 4. However, they've got nothing more to say besides that.
I mean, it's cool. I mean, I'd like to see how they're gonna do this. If it's gonna be so, we can assume it's gonna be an emulation. However, we don't know if maybe they're gonna put PlayStation 2 titles for like download on the PlayStation Store, or if we're just gonna normally be able to play our PlayStation 2 discs. What do you make of that, Anthony?
Well, I really don't know. It's I think someone has to like take a look at the PlayStation 2 disc itself. Is it really just a DVD with a little bit of encoding in it? Because the disc drive has to be able to read the disc too. So I really don't know. It would be kind of nice if you could take your colossal PS2 library, put a disc in, and whabam, finds the game on the internet and downloads it in, just like with the Xbox One. But at the same time, the PS2 is a little far back. I get it's like what, 15 years now?
Yeah.
16 years?
Old.
16 years old? 16 years? Oh my goodness! It's the thing is well into puberty now.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
it is definitely in the boring stages of high school.
the boring stages of high school. Yep,
Yeah,
that's probably a good way
don't
to put
worry,
it.
everyone. That joke hurt me too. Um, but no, I mean, I think it's kind of cool. You know, I mean, I have some PlayStation 2 games sitting around. I don't have a PlayStation 2 anymore. I think it will be. My hope is that not only will you be able to play, you know, PlayStation 2 discs on there, but you'll be able to download specific games on the PlayStation Store, akin to how you can download the, you know, the PS1 classics on your Vita or on your PS3. That's what I'm hoping for. I want
I
to get
don't.
down on some Final Fantasy 13.
No, that was on PS3. You mean like Final Fantasy 12?
Final Fantasy 12. Thank you. I was
Yeah,
totally
because
kidding, Anthony.
yeah, it's
I knew
like
what I was saying the whole time.
Final Fantasy 10 already had its remake. Sorry, its HD remaster, and I guess Final Fantasy 12 would be a good one. I think it's gonna be more like a PlayStation Store kind of thing because to go back as far as the PS2 reading those discs, I don't know if that's really. I don't know if the disk drive can do it, and I really don't know if it's worth it. It could just be like a PlayStation Classic sort of thing where, I have my PS3 and oh hey, I bought Persona 4, and somebody's gonna have to teach me how to play that game properly because I sure as hell can't get through Kanji's place.
Yeah, it's funny that you
I
mentioned that.
wanted I tried to like that game, but it's like it's usually like, well, just fight stuff over and over in Kanji's place. It's like, you know what? For me, the charm about Persona is the fact that I want to max out every single social link. Okay, like to me, it's just the combat doesn't interest me that much, and frankly, it's like it was a little too much for me, and I probably have to go back and start over
Yeah,
one
it's
day.
yeah. See, it's funny that you mentioned that because I just picked up Persona Golden again, and I kind of and it's funny that you mentioned kanji too because I had the hardest time getting through that damn bathhouse, but I finally did it. I also got through Rise and um Eddie's area. So now I'm a little bit further in the game, further than I've ever been, and man, it's so good. Like it is so good. Every time I play it, I like it more and more and more. In fact, that's probably exactly what I'm going to do right when this podcast ends. I'm going to pick up my Vita, watch the Sooners game, and play some Persona.
Okay, but
Yeah, see, I've got my
uh,
night all planned out. It's romantic, isn't it?
I mean, maybe the golden version is what I'm looking for, but I don't have a Vita because how do I put this? Apparently, easy mode in Persona 4 Original is basically normal mode, but with 10, hey, you wiped, here's a potion to revive your whole team, which you can burn up all of it, and bam, your game's on easy. I already used up like maybe half of that already before I even reached Kanji's place, and I'm just like, you know what? I just want to like do the social links that because like that stuff is new to me. I don't want this. I'm not really into this super ultra deep. Gotta know everything, use everything, and believe in everything. And I'm just like, I just want a kind of a brain dead game. Like for me, the game I want to spend a lot of time thinking on is Fire Emblem, and maybe that's about it. Everything else, I'm just like I don't have brain power for puzzles anymore. I don't have brain power for World Crown in Super Mario 3D World anymore. I just have enough for Fire Emblem, and that's it.
Yeah, well, luckily, Anthony, we are mere months away from that. I'm really looking forward to it. We'll have to. Are you going to be a first day purchaser?
I am going to be a day one purchaser, and I can't believe this is going to be the first time I'm going to try and buy every single version of this game.
Yeah, yeah.
Because
I'm
I
definitely.
never did it with Pokemon. Like with Pokemon, I
I
only maybe got 2 out of 3 versions. So I had like Sapphire and Emerald, but I didn't have Ruby. Because there was really no
yeah.
point for me to get Ruby. Whereas this one, it's like I need it all. There's going to be like 3 versions.
Yeah, I mean, but they're all different games. Like they all have different stories.
It's the same gameplay, but with different stories. And I hope the stories are good because if there's one thing about Fire Emblem they never really did well, it is the writing could be okay, but at the same time, it could have gone a lot further. Like I look at the support conversations in Fire Emblem Awakening the other day, And I realized, you know what? We could have had some really ridiculously cool conversations if Crom and Robin had Lucina, but instead, you know, Crom and female Robin, like mom Robin and Lucina, have the exact same conversation as as um as with, say, another one like whatever, whoever else Crom would marry. That they would have the exact same conversation when really there could have been something really cool, considering, hey Lucina, did you know that your mom is like, an Earth Dragon monster? You're her daughter. You're so screwed. Like, how are you gonna feel just knowing that's like in your bloodstream along with the exalted bloodline? You
Yeah.
are so, it's like this, it's the most effed up
I mean,
thing.
I've always thought that the most important part about story-driven RPGs is character development, and it's funny. Fire Emblem I thought had pretty solid character development, but not anything extraordinary. I thought that the overall story was interesting at least, but I got to the
Uh,
point where some of the characters I was just hitting A.
Yeah, like, well, let me put it this way. The main story itself is just kind of typical Fire Emblem. It's kind of cheesy, not very deep, it's kind of shallow. The support conversation is what you're actually looking at. Because whenever, like, Crom is, like, having supports conversations with female Robin, he basically walks into the woman's steam tent.
Yeah.
Now, that's pretty darn awesome. And then she walks into the guy's tattoo and then smacks Crom with like a book or something. It's like, oh my goodness. Like, this is, yeah. But as far as the actual main story and the CG video, it was, bad guy. The good guy's actually secretly the bad guy in some weird sense or whatever, but
Yeah, it was definitely a KOTOR twist. So,
I actually have that game also, but never played it.
this makes me very sad. Not so much because it's an amazing game, but because it's an amazing Star Wars game, Anthony.
I don't know. That was like back
Star
from the.
Wars
That
and
was back from
amazing in
the.
the same
That's
sentence.
that's back from the golden age of Star Wars games. It's like,
Yeah, yeah,
what
it
was it
was.
like? You had KOTOR, you had Jedi Knight 2, which, okay, yeah, it was a shooter, but then you got your lightsaber, and that was pretty
Oh,
awesome.
that
You had
game was super
You
awesome.
had Jedi Academy, you had Battlefront 1 and 2.
The Rogue Squadron still.
Yeah, Empire at War was. I don't think it was a bad RTS game. Yeah, that was
Yeah,
the
I mean,
that
it
was
was
the
alright.
golden age of Star Wars games. And yeah, and then the late 2000s. Yeah, that happened. But
Yeah, well, why
yeah,
don't we
it's
go
just
ahead and keep plowing along with the news here? We
sure.
we like getting sidetracked, especially in good,
Well, it's called
awesome Fire
unscripted
Emblem
access.
conversation.
No, it's a called unscripted access. We're supposed to go sidetracked without intention.
Well, let's get sidetracked here for a minute because this. Well, I'm segueing into the news. So anyone who knows me and has seen some of my coverage, some of our coverage at E3, knows that I was a really big fan of Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six Siege. And we got an interview with the developers. It was awesome. I played a whole ton of it at E3. Not only that, but I got into the closed beta a couple months ago and played the heck out of it then too. Well, now everybody gets to join the fun because Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six Siege is coming to open beta starting on November 25th to November 29th. And Anthony's going to download it on something, and we're going to play the hell out of it. In fact, I would reach out a hand right now to Anthony to play a few games with the Shiitakes one of these days.
Well, feel
I think
free. Well, just give me a heads up ahead of time, and I'll figure out something because me and Nick tried Rainbow Six Siege in a how do I put it? Basically, we did it with a Ubisoft developer. This wasn't out on the stage floor. This was like inside one of their booths. And I sat down with Nick and a couple other people, and our developer was basically team captain. And he basically told us, and we put on these headsets, and he was talking to us while we were going through this whole place and talking to us about the AI. And let's just say that playing it, there was a sense that you never really knew what you never really knew what the enemy was going to do next. You just never knew. So you just have this small team of like 4 or 5 guys watching every corner, and whoever sees someone bust through a window or climb up the stairs or something gets thrown, they have to let everyone else know. So we can be as responsive and as prompt as possible when we're talking about, well, as the title suggests, doing a siege of a building. So I really liked it. I think it was my game of show. I actually didn't really see as much of E3 as I wanted to, but I think it probably was my game of show because I can't really remember I can't remember any of the games that stick out in my mind quite like that one did.
Yeah,
except Assassin's Creed Syndicate, which at the time just felt like, we were going to put in some new Batman features, but not do it as well at all.
Well, apparently, Assassin's Creed Syndicate has been doing fairly well as far as critiques are concerned. Been getting some pretty solid reviews.
Yeah, that's something like you always have to remember when you go to E3 and play any game that isn't out yet, is that you're basically playing an unfinished version of that game. Like, it's not done yet. In that case, that build of Assassin's Creed I was playing could be like freaking, the build that they had in the middle of February was just the one that was the most presentable at the time, or whatever. You just never know. Everything you see in E3 and everything you play is really just a beta unless it's already been released.
Yeah.
Or an alpha even. Could be an alpha.
Yeah, it was definitely. So I remember graphically Rainbow Six Siege was like horrendous at E3. I still don't think it's that pretty. It wasn't that pretty in the closed beta. We'll have to see what the open beta has got for us, but it's just funny when you play a game way before it comes out compared to when you play it after it comes out. Like, Forza looked good either way, so that's an awful example.
Oh, okay.
Batman didn't look very good either. It didn't look very good at the. Actually didn't make sense because it came out like 2 days after E3 started. Anyway, what were you gonna say, Anthony?
I think I lost my train of thought.
Sorry.
Okay, cool.
All right.
I don't know. I look forward to doing the open beta. So you say the 25th to the 29th?
Yeah, so it starts 3 days as of today. Today is the 21st.
So Thanksgiving weekend then.
Yes, Thanksgiving weekend. It's like, I didn't think about that until just now.
Why enjoy dinner with your family when you can line up outside in the freezing cold, fight and shove people and maybe punch one or two just to get whatever you want on Black Friday, then come home and just, play beta of a shooter you really want. Like, who needs to spend time with their families? Who really needs to?
Be thankful that all of your male family members have a PS4 and then kill each other on Siege.
Great. Oh, man. It's just...
All right.
It's just... I don't even know what to think about Black Friday anymore. It's like, it's like... Am I gonna go? Maybe. It's just kind of... I just, like... It used to be that when stores actually opened at midnight and not, like, into Thursday... shopping at 5 a.m. was actually pretty awesome because it was just like a Tuesday afternoon, and because all the crazy people already gone home, most of the crazy people have gone home, and the normal people haven't woken up to go crazy yet.
Yeah.
So, 5 a.m. was great, but now they shoved it so late that it's like, okay, I'm here at Best Buy at 10 p.m. and they're closing in 2 hours, huh? It's really weird. It's like you don't know who's open.
Yeah, I mean, now I don't like the fact that Black Friday starts on Thanksgiving now.
Well, the earlier the merrier, right?
Ugh. Depends on who you ask, I guess.
Yeah, it's just the thing is I really don't think it is as stupid as it used. I mean, it's not as crazy as it used to be because back in 2008 when saving money was a huge deal and not everyone had a TV yet, and computers were still a thing and tablets haven't taken over quite yet, and video game consoles, the video game industry was exploding. So yeah, there was reason why people were crazy and were stampeding the door, just bursting through the door, stampeding salespeople down, and creating some PTSD retail memories for various employees. But now it's like everything's well stocked. You don't really need a new TV because everyone has a good TV now at this point. You don't really need a video game console because, well, they're well stocked. Computers, more like tablets. People aren't really lining up like crazy anymore. As far as electronics go, I feel.
Yeah.
And side note, I got my gift shop. I think I got most of my gift shopping done super early this time because I just don't feel confident if I do it after Thanksgiving because everyone's gonna be doing it.
Yeah, definitely. It'd be.
Having personally bought gifts at the last minute, it's gonna not show up on time.
Yeah, that's just asking for complications.
Yes, like for me, it's like take care of my gift shopping early. I think I figured out most people's. I think I figured it out this year. So it's good. Yes.
Well, all right, man. Let's go ahead and go on to the next piece of news. What else do you have for us?
What else do I have? Deus Ex: Mankind Divided has been delayed.
Ooh.
Instead of coming out on February 23rd of 2016, it is now being pushed 6 months later to August 23rd because they did not want to compromise on quality, which I think is the de facto excuse for any game delay. Well, duh. Of course you don't want to compromise on quality. Nintendo says that anybody who delays the game always says that. We want to make the game better. Makes sense.
And I think for the most part, other than building anticipation slowly crumbling down when you hear about a game delay, I think for the most part, we as gamers appreciate delays most. To the extent that you know that the game is going to be better, your $60 is going to be more worth the purchase.
Yeah, but the thing for me is that 6 months is quite a long time. I feel because it's like if they set it for February, and that was the goal for a long time, okay, it makes sense that they prioritize stuff, and if they feel like they need a little more time, they're like, okay, let's put it to May, or let's put it to June, let's put a game out in the summer. But put it in August, and I feel like they're giving it another extra delay, not just because they want to tweak it just a little further, but because the August to December sales potential.
Yeah.
The holiday season sales, because fact, most games are sold during the holiday season. End of story. Fact. And I'm sure some people will argue, well, that wouldn't be a problem if you put your games throughout the summer. Games would sell during the summer because kids are not in school. It's summer vacation and they're all bored. Well, I'm sorry, but I just read most game sales happen in holiday season. Sorry, that's just how it is, and so that's why everyone loads it up like that's why all your big name releases are loaded on that part. And I guess it makes sense because that's the two most popular months to buy gifts.
Yeah.
So I
Well,
can see that.
just look at this past month. How many games have come out? I mean, Assassin's Creed, Call of Duty, Halo 5, and those are just the ones that are popping into mind right now.
Actually,
Battlefront.
I should put a asterisk on that though. Disclaimer: AAA games are loaded up during the holiday
Yeah.
season.
Yeah,
Because if you're
AAA.
an indie developer, I don't think you want to put out your game on the same day as Battlefront. No one's gonna notice.
Definitely not.
You don't want to release your game on the same week as Halo. Everyone's gonna play Halo. They're not gonna play your game because they're too busy playing Halo. I guess that's why games like Bloodborne do pretty really darn well. Is they put it in a I guess the second busiest time to put out games instead of the busiest time, which is March. Games like to
I
come out in two times of the year: holiday season, which is like September to November, or February, March, April.
yeah.
Summer is completely dead. January is kind of dead.
Quiet.
January is dead because everyone's broke from the holiday shopping, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, this early next year is gonna be stacked. We've got Uncharted. We've got the Fire Emblems. What else is coming out? There's a lot of stuff coming out early next year. Surprising to see Uncharted not coming out for the holiday season.
Oh, well, it's probably a good thing.
Oh no, I think it's definitely good. That's one of the
Yeah.
games where the sooner I get my hands on it, the better. The happier I
Maybe
will be.
maybe Uncharted games delayed to 2016 is a good thing because 2016 is probably one of the best years PlayStation's ever had, and it could be the best year PlayStation's ever had because it's. I just think it's a little funny because Microsoft is like, this is the best year in Xbox games history. Then I look at 2016 for Sony, I'm like, yeah, Microsoft, if that's your best year, Sony's gonna destroy you.
Yeah, I mean, I
Like
don't
they're
think
gonna
this year has
destroy
been.
you.
I don't think this year has been very good as far as exclusives are. I mean, you've got Forza, you've got Bloodborne, Halo 5. What, Tomb Raider? Tomb Raider is an exclusive, so whatever.
It
We can
is
add that
currently
to
an
it.
exclusive for like a year.
Yeah, I mean, so I think as far as like multi-plat games, yeah, tons of awesome multi-plat games. The Witcher, Batman, Fallout, but there's really no reason to buy one console over the other unless you're looking at past games,
Well,
past
there
exclusives.
I think there are a couple of reasons. In the case of Microsoft, you had a reason to buy an Xbox One this year. Gran Turismo's not out yet, so Forza will have to do. Halo 5, well, it's
But I
Halo.
mean, you already had the Master Chief Collection.
But the Master Chief Collection is a compilation of old Halo games put together, whereas Halo 5 is new. So Halo 5 is
Yeah.
a big deal.
All right, fair
Um,
enough.
yeah, it's like biggest. I don't know. Microsoft was like best year for Xbox games ever, and I just look at this year and I'm like, I don't feel like this doesn't really feel like it. Whereas I look at PlayStation next year and I'm like, damn, whoa,
Yeah.
whoa. Like if this is your best year, Microsoft, I think Sony is gonna annihilate. It's just gonna like punch you guys out of the park. It's like, I'm sorry. You got Uncharted. You got Street Fighter. Like Kingdom Hearts is
Horizon.
Kingdom Hearts 3. I mean, Square Enix will never know. Like Bronson told me today, it's just like, yeah, I'll believe when Square Enix makes a game if they can even make a game, finish a game, and put out a game.
Yeah, well, I just next year the only hope I'm hoping for Square Enix, either Kingdom Hearts 3 or the Final Fantasy VII remake.
I think
Don't
Final Fantasy
care.
15. I think they will finish 15 before 7 comes out.
Oh, this is
15,
awful.
15 has a demo. It should come out. It's like,
Yeah,
you have Street
this is
Fighter.
awful, Anthony. But I completely forgot about Final Fantasy 15.
I guess 7 just eclipsed everything the moment they said it, right? I mean, the demo came out this year, like Final Fantasy Type 0 HD, and then you bought it, you got a demo to Final Fantasy 15 and watched the fancy Ramu summon or whatever. But yeah, 15 exists. It still does. It will come out. It was called Final Fantasy 13 Versus, and was in limbo for a long time, but it's going to come out as 15 now, and you can't put out 16 before 15, right?
I feel like Square Enix would find a way.
Man, I don't know what's going on with their development teams out there, but with the amount of time and money they're dumping in, you would think they would turn out better stuff than Final Fantasy 13, 13-2, and 13-3.
Oh, God, yeah.
Like, dear
all of
goodness.
a sudden they announced 13-4. Soon there will literally be a Final Fantasy 13-13.
Speaking of which, I think I saw some news story that Final Fantasy Lightning Returns, which is the 13-3, will come to PC.
Yeah, I saw that as well.
Great.
Yeah.
Just great. I mean, I know Lightning looks good. Lightning looks good, but that's about it. Okay.
We could play Lightning Returns on our fancy computers.
Yeah,
even though it's
tell him to.
It's like
just have Nick play it. Okay. Guy's high on PC gaming.
You know what? You know what Nick is not high on that he should be?
What?
Halo 5.
He should get that game. It's just I actually watched Shitaki's for like the whole session of Shitaki's for the first time a couple weeks ago. Finally found time in my evening to do that. And I'm just like, Halo 5 just came out and you guys are doing the Master Chief Collection, and like Nick is like, how come there's nobody around? Yo, there's a new Halo. It's out. It's called Halo 5 Guardians. Everyone's playing it.
This was literally days after it came out. Like it's not like it was a month away or a month out or something. It was days after it came out, and he's all like, "Why is no one playing this?" Oh, Nick.
Speaking of Halo 5, hey, there was a big patch that poofed into my Xbox this past week.
Was that pun intended big?
Actually, intended no. Actually, oh shit.
Well done. No, well done, because that big patch that was introduced to Anthony's console brought the big team battle mode with it, which is exciting to me because I was a little bit let down by Warzone. So, looking forward to playing this with my friends, including Anthony.
Yes, so this update's called the Battle of Shadow and Light, which really that's the title it came up. That is something I would just expect to come from a Destiny patch, not Halo. The Battle of Shadow and Light. With the light, it will banish the darkness.
It totally does sound like a Destiny DLC or something.
Like I could rant about the bleeping storyline of the original Destiny. Okay, you know, the darkness came, and you with the light shall banish it. What is isn't that out of just about almost every fantasy story ever conceived?
It's awful.
It's like freaking, oh man, darkness. Wow, great, wonderful. Like Zelda Twilight Princess used that concept. I'm pretty sure Lord of the Rings uses that concept. It's just
Destiny. Everything with good and evil.
Yeah, that's basically it. Good and evil. The battle between good and evil. That probably would have sounded less cheesy than Shadow and Light. Today on Halo, cliches make their return.
You know what they should have called it is Patch 1.
Patches don't need If you want to complicate things, just look at friggin' PC part names. That just
Oh, yeah, tell
man.
me about it. I still see gibberish.
It's like I know that if you somehow know the difference between, I understand that for some people knowing the difference between Intel Core i7-3770 and the 3770K is pretty awesome, but a lot of people don't even know what that means. Like vast majority of people don't know what it means, and I remember when I had to build my computer, I had to sit down and research all these meanings so I could pick the right parts and not mess it up. Because nothing sucks more than having, like, it really sucks if your parts show up and you realize they don't exactly fit with each other.
Oh, yeah,
Oh
that sounds rough.
yeah, but anyways, yes, the Battle of Shadow and Light, which tells me literally nothing. Just call it Big Team Battle Patch. Bam.
Yeah,
Done.
yeah, there you go, exactly.
So
Because that's all it is.
That's all it. Well, you get more Rex and all that kind of stuff, and you get 4 new maps. More assassinations and stuff like that. That all that's good. I'll look forward to trying it. I don't know if the maps big team battles happen on are colossal, because I tend to be a bit more of the Star Wars Battlefront 2 guy, where you shove as many soldiers as you can into a tight space and chaos breaks loose everywhere.
Yeah.
Like that's just more me. But because with such a huge map, you could be walking for like 5 minutes and not find a single soul.
Yeah, well, so here's the interesting thing, Anthony, is that big team battle in other Halos, it was like 16 on 16, wasn't it?
I don't remember, but the maps were colossal. That's what I
Yeah.
do remember.
So, well, here's the thing. I'm pretty sure that past big team battles were more than 8 people on a team. Well, in Halo 5, it's 8 Spartans versus 8 Spartans on 4 maps. So I can't imagine they'd be that big. 8 doesn't seem like a very large number to me.
So,
You have a combined 16 people running around on a map.
Not big team battles, medium team battles. Arena, small team battles.
Yeah.
Let's see. You get more requisition bits, so you have more skins for your weapons.
Mm-hmm. Armor
pieces, more fancy paint jobs for the Warhog that's going to be blown up anyways, and more ways to make your ID tag look fancy, because now you have deck of card versions of, spades, heart, club,
I saw that.
That kind of stuff, and a hidden special ultra rare requisition that someone's going to figure out in 2 days and put it on the internet, and then it won't be secret anymore.
It's only a matter of time.
But yeah, we'll see what happens. Yeah. Seriously, the patch name is so stupid.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's it from Halo.
That patch name is just so stupid. I'm sorry.
Both of us came up with better names in 2 minutes. Took us 2 minutes to come up with better names.
It's every time I just see kind of like this beaten down, cliched stuff, I just want to just mock the living heck out of it, because I understand that's really, it's pretty much impossible to be original. I mean, you could like go as far and say there are only like 7 stories in existence: man versus man, man versus environment, etc., etc., etc. But really, for me, it's just kind of like, okay, I understand some concepts of overused, but if you can like take those concepts and arrange it in like a new way, and put effort behind it, you know what? That could be good. That could be great. Okay. Because, like, Mass Effect 1 is like you're fighting against sentient alien forces. That concept's not new, but they came up with a really awesome way of showing it. So, bam, there you go. Until Mass Effect 3. Then Mass Effect 3 Mass Effect 3 was like America, but Earth. So, man, I could rant about Mass Effect 3. Don't get me wrong, the game's good. Okay? It plays the best. But man, do I have major problems with it compared to Mass Effect 2, because Mass Effect 3 was basically about America. If you look at all the advertising, they didn't show a single alien in any of the advertising except, maybe the trailers, but all that fancy live action BS was all about Earth so that way they could pitch it onto TV and say, giant sentient alien forces have come to invade Earth. Okay, great. I'm pretty sure that concept has been used a lot, because aliens, Earth, Reapers, great.
Yeah, that is almost essentially what happens in Halo 2. At least for the first half. And Halo 3. Yeah, and Halo 3.
Man, I just get sour just thinking about Mass Effect 3. To me it is like the Mass Effect game I don't remember too well, because it's like, I probably do. It's just the one I don't think about much, because it's like, it's just another save. It's like it's another save humanity stuff instead of this giant galactic community that Mass Effect 1 and 2 built up. Mass Effect 3 was, gather everyone, we're protecting Earth because we humans are number one, and you will help us. Thank you.
And that's that.
All that. Oh, man. Anyways, speaking. So, okay, I don't know how to segue this, so I'm just gonna bluntly throw this out there. So apparently, some people just put Fallout 4 into their PCs, and then just never bothered touching it ever since. Because 14, according to Steam achievements, 14.5% of Fallout 4 PC players still haven't left the vault.
Wow, really?
So they didn't really play it for more than 30 minutes. Because that's how long it takes for you, if you don't mash through dialogue, to get in a vault, see the opening sequence, get pissed off, and come outside and realize, oh hey, everything's a wasteland, but with more color now, because this isn't Fallout 3. It has pretty sky, though. I do like that.
Yeah, it really does. And radiation storms are badass.
I have not seen those yet. But yeah, I just watched.
When you do, run. Run as far and fast as you can, Anthony.
Great.
And don't turn back until you get home.
Okay, radiation storms. I'm guessing if you stand around, you get irradiated.
Yeah, you'll actually die of radiation. Actually, I don't think it gives you that much, but the worst thing possible that can happen is you get a tons of radiation and then a fight starts or something.
Well, it's an irradiation storm, so yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty much that. All right, let's see. So, on kind of the PC side of game, esports, pretty big deal in video gaming. The NBA co-owners of the Sacramento Kings just bought a League of Legends team. As for the name, I do not know what the team is called, but I guess that's cool. A lot of money involved.
I think it's called.
Oh man, I don't know what's up with these names, but
you
cool.
kind of have, okay.
I guess.
How do I put this? Well, esports team names I don't think are actually remotely as close as bad to a lot of gamer tags I see on Xbox Live.
Yeah, that's a fair point.
Because like before Halo 5, the last time I played Halo Online was like 2011. It's been a really long time. So I've kind of forgotten how the average gamer tag looks like. And then I see a load of them and I'm like, oh, okay. But esports team names aren't even remotely close to as cheesy or as bad as normal gamer tags. Yeah, esports is huge. When you're talking about Dota 2 having a $3 million prize pool, which, mind you, is bigger than prestigious golf tournaments and golf is a pretty popular
Which is
sport.
ridiculous.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like golf is extremely popular. Like I'm pretty sure, like golf is huge, but we're talking about Dota 2 with a bigger prize pool than the Masters, and the Masters is probably one of the most prestigious things in the world. In that, like the Masters in golf, you are invited. You don't sign up for it. You are invited to play in it, which probably explains how important it is.
Yeah.
But yeah, $3 million, and now Sacramento Kings co-owners by a
League of Legends team.
League of Legends team. So yeah, so the Dota tournament just ended. So with the $3 million prize pool, the first place guys got just over $1 million. I don't know how it's split up among the team members. I don't know how much the sponsors take. So yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
Just over $1 million.
Yeah, ridiculous.
I watched League of Legends. Their what was it? It was like the North America Championship about 3 years ago. Actually, when I was playing a lot of League, and what I used to do was, in order for me to get better, I was like, I want to get better at League. It's really to teach me. So the most I could do was watch World Championship League players play the game. To learn things, and you can actually learn a few things when you watch the pros. Granted, at the pros, the team has to gel really, really well. Whereas when you're like a level 15 newbie, you can't really expect your teammates to do the same thing. Not to mention you're not on voice or have good team composition or everyone knows their builds. But you can learn a few tricks from the pros. Like just basic stuff, like how they attack a tower. When do they attack? When do they attack? When do they back off? You may learn a thing or two about how to use the characters they're using. Yeah, stuff like that. So you can actually learn a thing about pros, like if you play maybe high school football, I imagine. Oh, hey, you want to get a little better at quarterbacking, and then you just watch the pro, and it's like, oh, so that's some little tricks you can do to help stay inside the pocket, kind of stuff. You never know. Sometimes they do. Sometimes you don't have to like do everything they do. Sometimes you just need to watch them and learn. Oh, maybe that's a little trick I can use to help save my butt next time.
Mm-hmm.
Also, esports commentary is actually it's actually not bad, I guess.
I unfortunately I will never get into esports. I've tried, but it's not going to happen. Especially when I can just
you have to
turn
give
on
up.
Football.
If you do esports, you have to almost give up everything, every other game. I don't know how they do it, but if you're going to be because you know how video games can create like this situation where you would wake up, play games until you go to sleep.
Yeah.
Can you imagine what the esports person needs to do to win? I don't know. I don't know if they just wake up in the morning, train, and go to bed, but that is
they'd have to dedicate their lives to it.
Yeah, because like you have to start. This is video games is like the hobby where World of Warcraft players would play a new expansion for 48 hours straight, no problem. Stuff like that.
Yeah,
so it's just
crazy.
Like, man.
That is crazy, man.
Yeah, it is.
I'd imagine esports clearly doesn't take athleticism or anything like that, but it definitely takes commitment into playing, like you were saying, playing nothing but that game. Pretty crazy. I couldn't do that.
I think esports is quite a lot more mental. It's different because it's like, well, esports is not a sport because there's no physical activity. I think Yeah, I don't know. Like esports, I just think it's a lot more mental. It's like coming up with a strategy on the fly, reacting on the fly, knowing what to do in every situation, and how to turn things around. It can endurance. It can be really draining sometimes
Yeah.
because I don't know when there's strategy in MOBAs too. Because it's like, well, if you're losing, how are you going to turn it around? Kind of stuff. But yep, esports. The
Esports, the
money
future.
is ridiculous. MOBA's taking over the world. Actually, it has
That,
taken over the
yeah,
world.
that it is. Big ass prize pools.
Yep. Okay.
Well, what else you got for us?
On news that's more down to earth, for those of you who have an Xbox One and have a Windows 10 system and have the two paired together, it's kind of nice. I just wish that they could get the audio syncing working better, but this is over a wireless connection, so who knows? Maybe I will use a wired connection. It'll probably be better, but so Microsoft's thrown in some new features requested by various people. You now have Facebook integration, so you can now use your Facebook profiles to find Xbox Live friends. Which
Oh
actually,
god.
yeah, because that isn't like basically PlayStation did it a while ago, so now it's coming to Xbox. And the thing that I remember about PlayStation doing is like, oh hey, this cute high school chick has an Xbox One, friend request.
Yeah, that's weird.
Because that isn't awkward.
Yeah.
Let's see. You also need to record voiceovers with the game DVR thingy using an attached headset or microphone, and share it.
Huh.
So basically, if you record footage, you can voice over it like a playthrough.
Yeah, okay. That's kind of cool.
Which, you know, I'm just like, so does this kind of actually remove the capture card where I can just stream to my PC, record it, and voice over it at the same time? That sounds kind
How
of
was the
fantastic.
quality?
The video quality is, I'd say about, on the highest setting, I'd say it's about 80% there. You can really tell that it's like watching a YouTube video. It has YouTube compression, so there's like some artifacts, some color mushiness, but it looks good enough.
Okay, for sure.
The audio, they need to work on the audio syncing. The audio, I think, is like a quarter to half a second behind the video, which is kind of like a problem when you're like playing shooters or racing games.
Yeah.
And by shooters and racing games, I mean I've only seen those. I mean Halo 5 and Forza, because those are the only two games I own on my Xbox One. Yes.
Can't think of anything else at the moment that you should buy.
Maybe Rise of the Tomb Raider, but I don't know. I'm just really picky with game purchases.
Well, why don't you just borrow it from Bronson?
I could. Just been busy.
For sure.
Also, all games that you play on Windows 10 will work with the game recording feature. So, you know, that voice stuff and recording stuff. Yeah, you could do that, and you can also share it too. So if I want to share my epic Final Fantasy XIV wipe, there you go. The store section is slightly better, and you can redeem games with golds and deals through gold through the Xbox 10 app. Okay. Oh, can I just say, this is a bloody brilliant feature. But with the Xbox One app, I got a message from them that says, congratulations, thank you for playing Halo 5. Here's a redeem code to, you know, for a requisition pack. Special requisition pack. And I'm just like, okay, well, I guess I'm going to have to type it in. But then I noticed it was clickable. So I clicked on it and redeemed it for me.
Yeah.
On my computer.
That's super cool.
On my computer. They gave me a redeem code, and instead of having to turn my Xbox One and manually type it in, all I just click it on the app, and it just bam, it redeems it. It's ready to run on the game.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Or did I redeem it on the Xbox One? I think I redeemed it on the Xbox One. but then I couldn't run Halo to actually open the requisition pack because it had to patch itself for the big update. So that was a little bummer, but that's okay. I opened the pack later.
Yeah.
So
that's so cool though.
I like the Xbox app on Windows 10. If there's one huge advantage that Microsoft has over Sony, it's that. It's that you can stream to your PC. You can control quite a lot of Xbox stuff from your PC. You can use your Xbox One controller to play games on your computer. You can manage your messages, your wall, view achievements, handle messages. Yeah, I think it's pretty cool. They just need to work on the screen. You can party chat from your computer with friends that are on their Xbox Ones. That's still in beta though, but you can do that.
Yeah, that's cool too.
So if I think if there's one, yeah, I think that having the Xbox app is a massive. I think it's a huge advantage for the Xbox One. And yeah, Microsoft's trying to shove Windows 10 down everyone's throats, so okay.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like Windows 10. I don't think Windows 10 is the most amazing thing ever, but you don't really need to shove it down people's throats.
Yeah, I read somewhere that they're going to start forcing people up.
Oh, okay. So what happened is this actually almost happened to my Windows 7 computer. So, Windows Update is the default program thing in Windows, pretty much in any Windows for a long time now. And what they did with Windows 7 and 8 computers is when it downloads security updates, they basically treat Windows 10 as sort of like a security update that automatically checks on as critical. And when you hit install, it automatically installs Windows 10 into your computer. Because I looked at the Windows updates and I told my computer download them, but don't install automatically. And what I noticed was that there was this colossal, like maybe 5 gigabyte security patch, and I realized it was Windows 10, so I unchecked it. That's how they sneak the Windows 10 upgrade into your computer.
I gotcha.
The reason why I don't approve of forcing people to Windows 10 is that as much as I like Windows 10 so far, it's not exactly a colossal leap over 7. It's basically like Windows 8 was an appified Windows 7, and with Windows 10, they took Windows 8 and gave it a better interface. So it's Windows 7 nudged up with a better interface and a Cortana that wants to know everything about you. That's basically.
And now she's evil, by the way.
Great. Why is great? She's a villain, and why did you name my personal assistant on Windows 10 Cortana? Why is your Windows personal assistant Cortana when you have decided that she's now evil?
She's gonna turn our phones against us.
Like, we blew that spoiler, didn't we? But I guess it's not a big surprise. It's a 10-hour campaign.
Yeah, if you haven't...
It's not that good of a story, I'm sorry.
Maybe you should spoiler on that one in the description.
Okay, yeah, I need to type that in right now.
Sorry about that, guys. That's kind of funny.
No, I'm typing it in right now. I actually do know this.
Oh, okay. Very nice. But really, if you guys haven't beaten Halo 5 by now, you should.
Okay, spoiler alert has been typed in. But anyways, that thing happened, so yeah, whatever. Anyways, it's just... Okay, maybe what I can say is Cortana died in Halo 4. She died in Halo 4, and now she's now your phone's personal assistant. And after what happened in Halo 5, oh, man. That's just great. I don't know. I do have to say that.
Neither.
Yeah, I do have to say, like, I don't approve. Like I said, I don't approve of forcing updates because one, Windows 7 is still a really good operating system. It's gonna be old. I mean, like, what? It's 6 years old now. It came out in 2009, right? So it's probably 6 years old now. But it's still a good operating system. It works well. I didn't upgrade my computer up to Windows 10 until like last week. It still works great. The problem with like upgrading Windows is not everything is going to work. There's going to be some problems. Like when, like for example, I have a wireless printer. When I upgrade Windows, it no longer really recognized that printer. It said it was an unknown device, but it refused to install the driver for that device. So I had to reinstall my printer, and it thinks there's still this unknown device, so I booted it off. I basically said, disable, forget that thing exists. And then it finally shut up the warnings. On my desktop computer, my Wi-Fi stopped. My USB Wi-Fi thingy stopped working. So what did I have to do? I had to reinstall that driver like 3 times before it finally clicked and said, USB Wi-Fi. I understand now.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. Stuff like that. Not everything's gonna work when you move to 10. That's happened with every operating system upgrade. You know, regardless of whether it was Windows 98 to Windows ME or ME to XP or XP to Vista, there's always going to be some bugs. Not everything is going to carry over just fine. Like, Windows 7. Windows 7 is probably as far as you can go when you want to play something as old as SimCity 3000. Because when I tried playing on Windows 8, didn't work anymore. Just couldn't work right. So, that's why I'm like, you don't, yeah, you could put a message and say, upgrade to Windows 10, it's free, and if, you don't like it, you can always go back. That I'm okay with, but you don't want to force it. Can you imagine, like, if you're, like, a business, and you're, like, everything relies on Windows 7, then one day you have, like, maybe a random 10% of your computers go Windows 10 and F's up your entire work productivity? Isn't that peachy? Anyways, there you go. Windows 10.
All right, let's talk about another update to a popular game called Bloodborne. Bloodborne has a 9 gigabyte update for those who want to prepare for the new expansion, Old Hunters. So look forward to that the next time you boot up Bloodborne. And,
I know Ray is stoked because that is his favorite game of the year.
Yeah, that game is awesome. That's for sure.
The intern is super stoked for Bloodborne.
My favorite thing about that game is the atmosphere. It's awesome.
Yep, it's unique.
Yeah, definitely.
I think for me the most fun thing about Bloodborne is watching other people die and having a death counter. Like,
and watch other people get really angry.
Watching Bronson constantly failing the Bloodborne, and we even had a timer out to see how long he would live between deaths.
Yeah, that was a really brutal 60-minute access for Bronson.
It was great though. It was entertainment gold.
It was entertainment gold.
I agree. It's a great game to watch other people play. Like, don't watch MOBAs. Watch other people fail at Bloodborne. Don't watch Halo. Halo. It's like, don't watch Halo. Of course, in Halo you're gonna have 20 kills and 15 deaths. Ooh, wow.
That's true.
Ooh. No, just watch Bloodborne. Watch how many times it takes for a person to die before he finally beats that boss at the end.
And it's satisfying for everybody because you just spend a lot of time watching it, and they just spend a lot of time doing it, so it works.
Now, that being said, I don't think the number of deaths in Bloodborne by Bronson and Ray combined for the year really quite matched the number of lives lost in Super Mario 3D World when they attempted that world record.
Oh, definitely not.
I think it was. I forgot what the count was, but it was well over 1,000. And I'm just like, how many cats lost their lives doing this? And I don't just mean Cat Mario. I just looked at him, just like, dear goodness, a lot of cats got killed for a number of lives lost here.
It was getting to the point, Anthony, when they were dying by the most simple things because they were so tired. Like, a Goomba would come by and they'd get killed by it.
Great. World crown. I actually went back to Mario 3D World and I found out why I couldn't play that game anymore was because I got to the point where it's like, you need to find more green stars. And I'm like, I'm done. I can pass Mario levels, but when you start asking me to find green stars, that like if there's like one thing I could say that I don't like about 3D World, it is hunting green stars. I mean, I understand you have to hunt some green stars. I just wish they didn't like demand it so much just to progress to the next set of levels. I just want to like see the world crown and see how stupid it is.
Yeah.
Super Mario Maker, but it's real. It's like Super Mario Maker, only the developers made. Oh my goodness! Like I watched a video on Crown, and I'm just like, okay, yeah, I'm done. Like, yeah, okay, I won't pass this unless I spend the next month working on it.
Yeah. Funny.
Yeah, but anyways, yes, Bloodborne, big patch,
Yeah.
more deaths on the way. Probably not as many as the number of lives lost in that Super Mario 3D World, but still good.
It's ridiculous. Yeah, they lost a whole lot of lives.
And it was just some of it was them throwing each other off the cliff too.
It's true. Yeah, I tried convincing them to kill each other on numerous occasions.
Well, yes, you are Shiitake. You don't want the senpais to succeed. I mean, what else would you do?
Oh no, I mean I liked watching them succeed. I just wanted them to kill each other in the process.
For entertainment's sake, yes.
Exactly, exactly. Well, on my end, Mr. Todd, that about does it. I don't have any more news.
It has been slow news, and we've had to really dig in to find more news.
Yeah, it's after last week's Nintendo Direct, it's been a little bit slow this week. But like we said earlier, it's just a lot of small news.
Yeah.
Uh-oh. And Anthony yawns. It's gonna catch to me soon.
Yawns are contagious.
Yeah, even miles apart.
All you gotta do is just hear or see a person yawn, and you will yawn.
Oh man, I'm resisting. I am resisting.
We're all tired. But as far as other news, I don't really have other news. I guess Quiet came back to Metal Gear.
Yay!
You just have to do the mission where you fought her for the first time like 7 times.
No.
Before you can get Quiet back, and I'm just like, why would I want her back? I'm already moved on. Like after that butthurt, I finally moved on, and now she's back. Okay, sure, whatever. I have enjoyed the virtues of D-Dog, so okay. I don't know if we already covered that.
Yeah, we can go. Yeah, we can go on and on about how amazing D-Dog is. We already have. So.
Yeah, I guess D-Dog is one convincing argument for dogs over cats. I guess. Because cats.
Yeah, I mean, dogs are way better than cats. The only good cats in video games are Palicos from Monster Hunter.
Cats can be good in video games. It really depends on how far you're willing to stretch the definition of a cat. Sometimes.
Yeah, I mean that's true.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'm out of news also. Here's some more news. So apparently, Nick has made it very clear and very evident that he is very unsatisfied with his stuttering in Fallout 4 with his super high-end $3,000 super build. And he wouldn't. Apparently, this didn't happen if you had if you had more like a $1,000 system like John's. Fallout 4 on his computer ran fine. But Nick was just like, the stuttering is driving me nuts. The stuttering drives me nuts. And I poked fun at him. I'm just like, well, DirectX 12 will solve all problems, right? Apparently, from what Bronson's telling me, those who had the ultra high-end setups, like Nick with his 2 fancy video cards, or some people with the Titan X would have stutters, but those with, more regular cards like John's didn't really have that problem. And then they put out a new driver that actually fixed that problem. Game ready drivers, bro.
And now Nick is a happy camper.
And now he's happy and has been quiet for a while. It's just really interesting. The thing that really blows me away is just this marketing stuff. Just the game ready driver. Basically, what Nvidia's game ready driver is they promise that on the day a game comes out, you will have a driver that makes your video card ready to play the game. It is optimized for the game and it's ready to go. And the Fallout game ready driver came out on November 9th, I think it was, on the day it came out. Yeah, it came out on the 9th or 10th. And
the 9th sounds
it
about
is
right.
it is so game ready. Makes Nick's computer stutter. Whereas the Overwatch beta game ready driver, which came out like last week, solved it, but nowhere in the patch notes did it say that it addressed an issue in Fallout 4. They didn't type anywhere in the release notes that Fallout 4 issue was fixed, even though it actually did. So I'm thinking they probably were I'm just thinking they're just like kind of don't talk about it, guys. Just brush it under the rug. We don't want to ruin this game ready driver magic unicorn dust.
Magic unicorn dust. That's exactly what Bethesda uses. How do you think their overrated games so popular?
I like Bethesda games. Some Bethesda games. I really liked Oblivion. Skyrim's good. But they're overrated.
Yeah. I really enjoy them as well.
I understand that, I understand the argument of there's so much to do. I understand the argument. Because, when you're spending $60 in a game and you can't stop playing it, it definitely is well worth your money, and I don't have anything against that because I actually like games that I don't stop playing. Metal Gear is a really good one. I plugged in my PS4 yesterday to play it for another 3 hours. What did I do? Nothing more than, building up the security team because some people got kidnapped, so I'm highly disappointed in my security team and their inability to find someone snooping around, considering it wasn't that big of an FOB to start with. Anyways, yes, there's that. But I'm still playing Metal Gear. Well worth my $60, no problem. I just plug it in just to spend 3 hours yesterday doing side ops and, saying, I'm just going to develop 15 more things. It's the only game this year that I know that I keep plugging in. I sometimes sit down and think, I just want to play The Witcher again. I'll start a new save of The Witcher. Good value is great. That being said, though, Bethesda, I think they do quantity really well. I just don't think they have the quality behind it.
Yeah.
Game-breaking quests, bugs, and more bugs. Rad roaches screwing up all the gaming code.
Rad roaches.
More.
It's literally bugs and bugs and bugs.
Yes. More bugs. Gotta fix them. Glitches. Yeah. I'm not joking. Well, the Fallout hype is kind of.
On that note, I am enjoying Fallout 4. It's a good game.
Oh, I'm sure it is a good game. It's just I'm not really into it. I watched Bronson played it for an hour today, and I was kind of falling asleep. Let me put it this way. Western RPGs sometimes are like a road trip. If you're the driver of the car, it's actually not really boring. If anything, you're probably having fun because you get to do things like, accelerate the car and, you're focused and you're potentially engaged. Whereas as the passenger, you're just staring out. The most entertainment you get is maybe whatever music's playing out of the stereo and the scenery outside the window, which if it's the middle of the desert probably isn't too great. Yeah. Let me tell you, having been on the drive up to Seattle, it is amazing. It's fun. You're traveling through Northern California, you're traveling through Oregon, and you're traveling through Washington. It's great view. Driving to LA, not so much. Farmland and 105 degrees.
How about that 200-mile long straightaway?
I mean, I guess
awful.
I guess the flow of traffic and the speed of that flow is exciting if you're the driver. I am not joking. It's a 70 mile per hour speed limit, and there are quite a lot of people going 90. Yeah. But anyways, that's Interstate 5 through Central California. In
Yeah,
105-degree heat, I might add. I don't know how cars don't catch on fire doing that stuff, but I guess they did in the 70s. And I remembered. So when you're traveling southbound on Interstate 5, there's this mountain range that you have to go over before you reach LA. And it's a very steep mountain. They tell you turn off your air conditioning, and your car could overheat and stuff like that. Most don't. Most get over the hill just fine. If anything, traffic's just slower because a lot of cars don't. They don't want to push too hard to go up that hill, and most of them don't catch fire except the last year's E3 where by the time we reached the top, we saw smoke, and apparently the firefighters had just put out this fire on a car that just burned to the ground.
Oh damn.
Yeah. So yeah, it man, like this is how bad it gets in California sometimes. You're driving through Central California, traffic's moving at like 90 miles an hour, and it's 105 degrees out, and you are blasting the air conditioning. How does your car not catch on fire? How are you still comfortably running the AC in your car going that fast and like triple digit heat? But
That is beyond me. A good coolant.
man, cars these days. Although that being said, though, a lot of cars on the freeway weren't really quite as old as most cars you would expect from, I really don't know. I don't know how people did it back in the day. I'm sorry. Maybe it wasn't as hot back in the day. I'll probably put it that way.
Maybe.
That being said, though, blasting down, like, here's the thing, too. Like, back in the old days, you had 55-mile-per-hour speed limits. So going from where we are now to Los Angeles would take 10 hours. Can you imagine 10 hours on the road?
No, thank you.
Just to go 500 miles?
No, thank you.
Yeah.
Sounds awful.
Yeah. But anyways, that's road trip stuff.
Oh. Well, all right, man. I mean, unless you have any more news, we're gonna call it here, I suppose.
Yeah, PSX is gonna happen. I just hope it doesn't snow in the mountains during that time.
Yeah. So look forward to PSX. We've got, as Anthony was saying, the last episode of Until Dawn for Super Mega Awesome Go Playtime. We've got a new comic as well, right?
We do. It's about quiet.
About quiet. Everyone's favorite thing.
No, it's why quiet isn't your best buddy.
And if you play the game, you don't even have to. I mean, go read the comic, but you'll understand it more if you have played the game.
I'm pretty sure everyone understands it.
Yeah.
It's basically this. I found a soldier, but no, he noticed me, and then in the distance you hear a and you just, in reflex mode, you're just like, oh shit.
It's good. So feel locked on thegameaccess.com for more original content from all of us.
Yes.
Go
sorry to cut in right here, but we forgot to answer a comment. Last time we forgot to go over a comment, so we're gonna go over it right now.
Sorry about that.
This is from way back from Halloween, so we're really sorry. So this is from Solid Kratos. Hello, record breakers Bronson and Ray and the TGA staff. Not much to say, to be honest, because all the news from BlizzCon Nintendo Direct, you probably got it covered. I just want to let you guys know how Undertale is a really good game that I finished on Monday, and boy, that game is honestly a contender for Game of the Year. Truly a game with a well-designed plot, great characters, gameplay, and amazing soundtrack. Highly recommend to play the game. Yeah, Tori, our staff artist Tori, she won't stop talking about it either.
Yeah, apparently, every single person I know who has played that game has loved it, like, to death. Now, I've been meaning to try it. It's only $10. It's not going to break the bank. I'll definitely get it before our Game of the Year award, but Oh, man, see, here's the thing, Anthony. I've literally been fighting with myself as to whether or not I should buy it as soon as possible. And today was one of those days. Like, oh, okay, $10, maybe I should buy it right now.
The thing is,
But
though,
so
is
many things to do.
I am always wary whenever when everyone says this game is so good, you need to play it now, you need to play it now, you play it now, because you also have to be aware everyone said that about Fallout 3.
Okay, but Fallout 3 was still a good game.
No. No, I just
Oh,
couldn't.
God.
I flat out.
Oh, God, we have differing opinions.
Well, in this case, you and I actually talk about it civilly. You and Bronson, on the other hand,
yeah.
well, that's a completely different story. No, like, here's the thing. Fallout 3 is not my kind of game. The thing is that with Fallout 3, everyone said it was like Oblivion, but post-apocalyptic wasteland, which sounded like an amazing concept because I really liked Oblivion, and you know what? Hey, like Fallout 3 could be a game you could toy around with because you could just do what everyone loves doing, which is take the mini nuke and just launch it everywhere. Yeah, like stuff like that. But I tried Fallout 3, I couldn't get it. I tried it. I'm walking around, I get lost, I step on a bajillion mines, both my legs are broken, and I'm out of stim packs. And at that point, I just gave up completely. I'm just like, nope, don't understand Fallout. The wasteland is boring for me to look at because I already live in the desert. I'm sorry. I just can't get into Fallout. Okay, and I watched Bronson play Fallout 4, and I'm like, I'm gonna fall asleep playing this game. The reason why I prefer fantasy whenever it comes to Western RPGs is because it has a lot. It leaves it gives me a lot more imagination. Because with fantasy, you have diverse lands, you have lush, beautiful forests, you have snow peaks, you have desert, plains, rainy areas, lush areas. Whereas in the case of Fallout, everything is dead or a vault. That's not exactly my idea of a great setting. It's like I like diversity in my settings, and if the only diversity you've got is a vault and a dead wasteland, I don't think that's gonna quite fly. I'm sorry, like it's just, to me, that was boring. Okay, this is why I also like science fiction. Science fiction leaves so much to the imagination because you could think about, oh man, what is this planet gonna be about? What is this alien race is going to be about? What is the politics of space going to work out? That's great and all. Politics of a wasteland, sane people, and raiders. That's it. You got crazy people and civilized people. That's it, right? That's all you got, right?
Yeah, I think we'll just have to agree to disagree on this.
I'm just not into wasteland games. Like, I couldn't get into Fallout 3. I bought Fallout. I bought Fallout New Vegas. I only played for 30 minutes and I don't remember a single second of it because it's been that long ago.
But in your defense, I did not like New Vegas either.
The thing is that people complained about Fallout 3. Others say, well, if you didn't like Fallout 3, you'll probably like New Vegas more. And I'm like, well, that's not really saying much. Because I could still like it a little more, but still hate it.
Yeah.
Like I said, it's just... Man, I look at Fallout and I'm like, I would rather whack things with a sword and not the stupid VATS thing. It's like archaic but modern at the same time. I don't get it.
Well, okay, so back on the subject of Undertale, here's what we'll do, Anthony. I will buy the game, I will play it, and I will get back to you.
Yeah.
And then we'll go from there.
So back to the topic because I actually lost it. So basically, after things after something like Fallout 3, just because everyone says it's good doesn't mean I will like it. It's just one of those lessons that I've kind of learned because everyone has different tastes in games. It's like you can't have unanimous opinion. Like I think Mass Effect 2. I think Mass Effect 2 is like, as far as like Mass Effect 2 is probably like one of the most awesome things I've ever played in my life. Like flat out, I think it's one of the best games I've ever played. bar none. The thing is that I am aware that there's going to be like a couple people out there that's going to think, well, Mass Effect 2 sucks. Maybe they're just not into sci-fi. Maybe they're just not into the combat. Maybe they just didn't like how they don't like the story of Mass Effect or the world of Mass Effect. You know, I'm just like that oddball that's just like, I don't care about Fallout. You guys go ahead and do that.
Yeah.
So that being said, being disappointed in a $10 purchase is not as bad as being disappointed in a $60 purchase.
Definitely not. Definitely not.
Because unlike with television and computers, it's not like, oh man, I don't like this computer, I can return it for the full price. With games, you can't do that. Once you break that seal, you can't really return it. You can sell it, but you still lost some money. But yeah, Undertale, Tori loves it like crazy. Lots of people love it like crazy. Steam says overwhelmingly positive.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see.
Yeah, we will definitely see. Thanks for the recommendation, Solid Kratos, as usual. Is that our only comment?
There is 2 more questions here.
Let's do it.
On another note, guess it is a question, but with the announcement of Overwatch not being free to play, will you guys still pick it up? This is a good time to answer this. So we did 60-minute access of the Overwatch beta today, and no, I would not pay $60 for it, because it feels like it has about Team Fortress 2 amounts of content in it. Basically, you pick a character and you play a match. You know, pick a character and you're into the action, you play a match. But I didn't see much outside of this. So it's a lot like Team Fortress 2, where you pick a class, or you pick a character from a class, and you're defending your base, or you are, delivering cargo, but that's about all I saw. Is it worth $60? No. Yeah, I think it's way too much. If it was 20, yeah, okay. Yeah, 20, okay, I can see that, but too expensive. Not worth it.
Yeah, I agree with you. At least, I don't think we know enough about it yet, at least, to warrant a $60 purchase.
Yeah, that's the other thing, too. We don't know too much about it. Is it going to be more modes? Is there going to be, stuff to make the $60 feel worth it? But as it stands, it's like a Team Fortress 2 amount of content.
But man, it looks awesome, though.
Oh, it's quite charmful. It doesn't take things too seriously. It's like Pixar, Bethesda, and Pixar.
Gotcha.
That's what it reminds me of. The art style is quite Pixar-like, and the characters kind of have a Pixar-like charm to them. So it doesn't take itself too seriously.
Yeah, that's good for sure. It looks really awesome. Looks fast-paced. Definitely something up my alley. But yeah, definitely not warranting a $60 purchase yet. So we'll see.
Also, what was your favorite announcement from BlizzCon and Nintendo Direct? I didn't even realize BlizzCon happened.
Yeah, I think the only thing that got my attention for BlizzCon was the Hearthstone DLC that's coming out. We'll see. I mean, I still have yet to pay a dime on that game, so we'll see where that goes. As for Nintendo, super psyched about red, blue, and yellow coming to the Virtual Console. What about you, Anthony?
My favorite Nintendo Direct announcement is, oh my goodness, Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess is having an HD remake. Hell yes. It's my favorite game ever.
Even know.
I now have an excuse.
I don't even know why we had to ask.
I now have an excuse to review the game.
Oh yeah, nice.
I have an excuse to review the game now. It's coming in March. Yes, awesome.
So get ready for another amazing Anthony Taw video review.
I need to do those more often. It's like
everyone loves them.
It's like
do them
crud.
more often.
Like I only do them I only did like I only do like 2 or 3 a year. It's like, what am I doing? There's all these games out there, and I only do 2 video reviews. It's really pitiful, really.
It's alright.
That being said, though, we're trying to figure out a way for me to have more time for personal projects, so that way, next year, I could, yeah.
It's also 2 more video reviews than I've done, if it makes you feel any better.
I mean, it's like, well, how do I put this? It's like, it's like the best stuff that I do, and if anything, it's like one of the few things that I do on this side that's where I put my personality into. So, it's just like video reviews. I need to do more. I'm happy to say that this year I actually have done more than any other year I've ever done this, because I did. So I did an impressions on that camcorder that I bought.
Oh yeah.
When we hiked up the mountain, and I hadn't napped for a good. I didn't nap that day, so I was sleep deprived, and then we drove all over the city of Reno and to places I've never been to in my life, which is weird. Let's see. I did an impressions on Galactic Civilizations 3. I did a video review on The Witcher, and then Forza. I'm missing one. Oh, I did a video review on the Wonderful 101 and then The Witcher.
Oh, that's right.
And then Forza.
That's right.
I'm surprised a lot of people watched the Wonderful 101 video review. That game was like 2 years old by the time I did that, but it was so awesome.
Thanks for watching that, guys.
We played Super Mega Awesome Go Playtime. And if there's anything that video series has done, it's actually convinced me to buy 2 games. So when we did Chrono Trigger, I'm like, I have to buy it. So I bought it I bought the DS version, and I'm so happy I bought the DS version, even though it's not as awesome as the Super Nintendo version, because some humor got killed and Frog doesn't speak in Old English anymore. Lame. And Wonderful 101. That convinced me to buy Wonderful 101, and absolutely loved it. Let's see. Yeah. Maybe next year I could do more. Lots to choose from. I mean, like, with Twilight Princess HD, I have an excuse to review my most favorite game of all time now. Just prettier. Sony's going to have a lot. So there's plenty to choose from. We probably could take a look at Uncharted. I have an Xbox One now, so maybe I can take a look at Gears 4.
I don't think it's going to come out next year.
Gears 4?
Yeah, no, I think that's going to be 2017. Do they have a date for it?
I'm gonna type it in right now. Depending, of course, this webpage does load. Late next year.
Okay, cool. I'll take that.
It could be a 2015 thing. Yeah, when they showed it, I just kind of felt like they needed something with an epic view.
Yeah.
But Years of War, we don't care about epic views. We care
about blood, guts, and violence, man.
Yeah, and headshots. Gears of War, best headshots ever.
The popping noise.
Oh man, the blood that spews out and the popping noise. Like, I'm sorry, like in Halo you can score lots of headshots, but Gears of War has the most satisfying headshots if you can score one.
Yeah, definitely does. Definitely does, man.
Yeah, Gears of War 4 may be a thing. JRPGs. Man, it's been a little while since I did a JRPG. Yep. Hopefully I can do more. I'm kind of a little happy with the output this year. I'm a little disappointed that I can't find a game for November to do, because it's like Fallout, no. Star Wars, no. Halo, nope. We already reviewed Halo.
Yeah.
Undertale, no, don't think I'm gonna get that done on time. Basically, we're just kind of prepping up for Game of the Year at this point, actually.
Yeah, it looks that way.
And PSX. The PSX thing is happening literally like 2 weekends from now, so.
Yeah.
From when
so look forward to that PSX content as well.
Yes. That's all the questions of Suck Kratos, and also. Finally, Bronson and Ray, can you explain the day after breaking the Mario World record? I want details. There's a Gamecast episode where they talked about it. I forgot what the episode number is, but you may
It had to
have
have been
heard it.
within the last week.
Yeah, it happened like around. Check the November 17th episode of the Gamecast. They actually did detail a little bit about what happened after. Basically, they slept a lot.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Yeah, I think Ray told me he slept 18 hours straight.
Crazy.
And after having some food, he felt normal again.
But they're still alive, so rest assured, everyone. No Bronsons or
Or they're
Rays
dead
were
and we
hurt.
just cloned their DNA and
Oh,
incubated
but
things.
they don't need to know that.
Oh shit.
Yeah, god damn it. This is really how we're gonna end the podcast, Anthony.
You don't remember anything. Just pull out Men in Black flash thing and just. But I don't know how you do that via audio.
Yeah, I don't know. Make
Just
a
some
noise.
strange static noise that
noise you just made should have covered it.
Yes. Okay.
All right, guys.
The last 5 minutes didn't happen.
What 5 minutes? Yeah, see,
Exactly.
it's working.
Oh.
Well, all right, guys. That will be it from Anthony Taw and I for this episode of Unscripted Access. Please like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, follow us on Twitch. Check out all of our awesome content on thegameraccess.com, and we will see you next week, hopefully with the pervy sage, Bremen Milan. So we'll see you next week. Have a good one, guys.
Bye, everybody.